There comes a moment in every life when the mind becomes a battlefield. On one side stands fear, uncertainty, and doubt, whispering that you are not capable, that your dreams are beyond reach, that the world is too harsh, too unforgiving. On the other side stands faith, courage, and the quiet certainty that what you imagine can be made real through deliberate effort and unyielding resolve. The greatest victories are never won in the streets, the offices, or the classrooms. They are won first within the heart and mind. The struggle from doubt to faith is not merely a psychological exercise, it is the crucible in which greatness is forged. Doubt is natural. It visits everyone who dares to dream beyond the ordinary. It is the internal voice that questions, that hesitates, that sows seeds of fear. Yet, it is precisely in this tension, between the whisper of doubt and the quiet command of faith, that the character of true achievers is formed. Those who succeed are not devoid of fear. They have simply learned to navigate it, to confront it, and to convert its energy into fuel for progress. The inner battle tests resilience, sharpens focus, and strengthens the mind's ability to embrace challenges without surrendering to despair. Faith is not a vague hope or wishful thinking. It is a deliberate mental posture, a conviction that shapes action, thought, and behavior. When the mind believes in its capacity to overcome obstacles, it begins to attract the circumstances and resources needed to achieve its goals. Greatness is not granted to the timid or hesitant. It is earned by those who cultivate belief in their own potential, even when external evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Every successful person has faced moments when doubt seemed insurmountable, yet it was the persistence of faith that carried them through. Adversity, failure, and setbacks are not signs that doubt is right. They are the instruments by which inner strength is built. Every trial encountered with courage teaches lessons no comfort or ease ever could. The storms of life test conviction, yet those who remain steadfast discover that doubt diminishes and faith grows stronger. It is in the act of moving forward, despite uncertainty, that the human spirit expands, that confidence deepens, and that personal greatness emerges. The mind is the ultimate architect of destiny. To conquer doubt, one must take control of thoughts, deliberately choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations, on solutions rather than problems, and on action rather than hesitation. Every habit of thought, every idea entertained repeatedly, becomes a building block for reality. Those who cultivate mental discipline, clarity, and unwavering belief in their potential discover that obstacles shrink in proportion to their faith. The internal struggle is ongoing, but victory in the mind precedes victory in life. Finally, faith must be translated into action. Belief without execution is empty. It is only through consistent, purposeful effort that dreams take form. The individual who moves forward with determination, regardless of the doubts that linger, harnesses the true power of faith. Greatness is born when vision meets action, when courage prevails over hesitation, and when persistence outlasts uncertainty. Every step taken in the direction of your highest aspirations is a triumph of faith over doubt, a step toward the realization of extraordinary potential. Your journey from doubt to faith is not a short one. It is a lifelong commitment to mastering your mind, trusting your inner convictions, and boldly acting on them, even in the face of resistance. The inner battle is relentless, but it is also the source of your strength. Embrace it, learn from it, and allow it to sculpt you into the individual capable of achieving greatness that others only dream of. Remember, it is not the absence of doubt, but the triumph over it, that defines those who rise above the ordinary and claim a life of purpose, success, and profound accomplishment. Belief is the invisible force that shapes every aspect of human achievement. It is the foundation upon which dreams are built, the spark that ignites action, and the compass that guides the mind through uncertainty. Without belief, ideas remain abstract, aspirations fade into wishful thinking, and potential lies dormant, waiting for the ignition of faith. Belief is not simply a passive thought, it is a dynamic, active state of mind that transforms perception, influences decisions, and ultimately determines the course of one's life. The person who cultivates unwavering belief sees opportunity where others see obstacles, possibilities where others see limitations, and solutions where others see only problems. Every great accomplishment in history, from the creation of revolutionary technologies to the rise of visionary leaders, began as a single thought fortified by unshakable belief in its possibility. Belief is intimately tied to self-perception. When the mind is conditioned to embrace the notion that success is achievable, it begins to align thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with that reality. The belief in one's own ability creates a mental environment in which action is taken decisively, risks are calculated intelligently, and perseverance becomes natural rather than forced. In contrast, doubt breeds hesitation, inaction, and fear, causing individuals to miss opportunities and abandon goals before they have even begun. Belief acts as a filter through which experience is interpreted. When belief dominates, setbacks are seen as temporary challenges to overcome rather than insurmountable barriers. The strength of belief thus directly influences resilience, shaping a mindset capable of enduring adversity and emerging stronger with each obstacle faced. Faith in the value of one's goals reinforces belief. The clarity with which a person envisions their objective strengthens conviction, which in turn fuels determination. When belief is combined with a clear purpose, it transcends mere hope or wishful thinking. It becomes a powerful driving force that propels one toward action regardless of fear or uncertainty. The individual who understands this principle does not wait for circumstances to be perfect, nor do they allow the opinions of others to dictate the limits of their ambition. Instead, they cultivate belief internally, drawing on their own vision and inner certainty as the source of momentum. Belief, in this sense, is both a shield against external negativity and a magnet that attracts resources, allies, and opportunities aligned with one's objectives. Belief also influences perception in a practical sense, shaping how challenges and setbacks are approached. When the mind is anchored in confidence, obstacles are reframed as learning experiences rather than failures. Each difficulty encountered is an opportunity to refine strategy, deepen understanding, and reinforce the commitment to the goal. Conversely, a lack of belief magnifies challenges, making small problems appear insurmountable and undermining the courage required to persist. This demonstrates that belief is not merely a psychological comfort, but a strategic advantage that amplifies effectiveness and increases the likelihood of success. The mind trained in belief evaluates reality with a balanced, empowered perspective, allowing decisive action even in the face of uncertainty. The influence of belief extends beyond individual perception and action. It shapes interactions with the external world. People are naturally drawn to confidence and conviction, and those who demonstrate unwavering belief in their purpose inspire trust and cooperation. The energy generated by belief is contagious, creating an environment in which collaboration, support, and encouragement flourish. Leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators who embody belief attract followers, partners, and mentors who share their vision, thereby multiplying the impact of their efforts. In this way, belief is both internal fuel and external magnet, bridging the inner conviction of the individual with tangible outcomes in the world around them. Cultivating belief is an intentional process. It requires disciplined thought, a focus on desired outcomes, and consistent reinforcement of confidence through action. Daily habits of reflection, visualization, and affirmation strengthen the mind's capacity to maintain unwavering belief even during periods of doubt or difficulty. Moreover, exposure to examples of success, whether through study of history, observation of contemporary achievers, or personal mentorship, reinforces the understanding that belief is the catalyst for accomplishment. The individual who commits to nurturing belief positions themselves to transform aspirations into reality, harnessing the power of their mind to overcome obstacles, seize opportunities, and manifest potential in ways that others, constrained by doubt, cannot imagine. Belief is not a static state. It grows, evolves, and strengthens through deliberate practice and experience. Each challenge faced with courage, each step taken in alignment with conviction, fortifies the mind and deepens the certainty that success is possible. Over time, belief becomes habitual, forming a mental framework through which all goals are approached with confidence and purpose. The individual anchored in belief becomes a relentless force, capable of shaping circumstances, influencing others, and achieving results that might initially appear impossible. In this way, belief is the cornerstone of personal power, the invisible engine behind achievement, and the indispensable precursor to greatness. The inner conflict that every individual experiences is the most decisive battle of a lifetime, one that determines not only the course of achievement, but also the very character of the person who faces it. This struggle is not fought in the external world, but within the mind and heart, where opposing forces of fear and courage, hesitation and decisiveness, hope and doubt constantly vie for dominance. Every person who aspires to greatness must recognize that this battle is inevitable, unavoidable, and deeply transformative. The presence of doubt and fear is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural response to the unknown, to challenges that push beyond comfort zones and test the limits of human resolve. Yet, it is precisely in confronting and overcoming these internal battles that the foundation for extraordinary accomplishment is laid, for the mind is the crucible in which resilience, clarity, and purpose are forged. Fear manifests in many subtle ways, often disguising itself as caution, indecision, or over-analysis. It whispers that failure is inevitable, that risk is too great, and that one's abilities are insufficient. Doubt, closely allied to fear, questions the validity of goals, the feasibility of plans, and the reliability of one's own judgment. Together, these forces create hesitation, delay, and a paralysis that can prevent even the most talented and capable individuals from acting. Yet fear and doubt are not insurmountable enemies. They are signals, indicators of areas where the mind must strengthen, where courage must be cultivated, and where belief must be reaffirmed. By recognizing fear as a natural and instructive aspect of personal growth, the individual transforms a potential weakness into a source of insight and motivation. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the conscious choice to act in spite of it. The moment when hesitation is confronted with decisiveness, when uncertainty is met with disciplined action, marks the turning point in the inner battle. Each act of courage, no matter how small, reinforces the mind's ability to trust itself, to move forward despite incomplete information, and to persist in the face of setbacks. Over time, repeated acts of courage build momentum, creating a cycle in which confidence grows, fear diminishes, and the capacity to handle increasingly complex challenges expands. This process demonstrates that mastery over the inner conflict is not instantaneous but cumulative, developing gradually through experience, reflection, and deliberate choice. The inner battle is further complicated by the tension between immediate gratification and long-term vision. Doubt often tempts individuals to abandon disciplined effort for short-term comfort, to avoid discomfort rather than embrace the challenges necessary for growth. This tension requires vigilance, self-awareness, and a strong sense of purpose. The mind must be trained to prioritize enduring goals over fleeting convenience, to value progress and persistence over ease and delay. The ability to consistently choose long-term gain in the face of immediate difficulty distinguishes those who achieve greatness from those who remain trapped in cycles of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential. Every challenge encountered externally is mirrored internally. External obstacles, the loss of resources, criticism, competition, and failure, serve as catalysts that reveal the state of one's internal resolve. When confronted with difficulty, the mind has a choice: succumb to doubt or rise with faith and determination. Each trial thus becomes a proving ground, an opportunity to strengthen resilience, sharpen focus, and refine the strategies of action. The individual who approaches these moments with awareness of the inner battle gains a profound advantage. For victory over internal resistance precedes and enables victory in external circumstances. The internal struggle, therefore, is both preparatory and foundational. It trains the mind, equips the spirit, and conditions the character for challenges that lie ahead. Self-discipline is the instrument by which the inner battle is won. By controlling thoughts, emotions, and impulses, the individual reinforces the dominance of courage over fear, decisiveness over hesitation, and faith over doubt. Practices such as reflection, visualization, journaling, and affirmation strengthen the mind's capacity to recognize and resist the seduction of uncertainty. Each moment in which disciplined choice is exercised against the tide of fear is a victory, an incremental step toward mastery of the self. Over time, these victories accumulate, producing a mental and emotional framework in which confidence becomes habitual, decision-making becomes decisive, and the inner battle gradually shifts in favor of faith and action. The inner conflict also teaches humility and self-awareness. It reveals limitations, exposes vulnerabilities, and demands honest evaluation of one's strengths and weaknesses. This awareness is not debilitating, it is empowering, as it provides the knowledge necessary to make informed decisions, to allocate effort strategically, and to develop the skills required for success. The individual who embraces the inner battle gains not only strength and courage, but also wisdom, perspective, and adaptability. Each engagement with fear and doubt becomes a lesson in mental resilience, a rehearsal for greater challenges, and a reinforcement of the belief that obstacles, both internal and external, are surmountable with perseverance and deliberate effort. Ultimately, the inner conflict is the forge in which greatness is created. It is where ordinary ambition is transformed into extraordinary achievement, where potential is converted into tangible results, and where character is tested, refined, and strengthened. The struggle between fear and courage, hesitation and decisive action, doubt and faith is not a temporary phase to be avoided, but a necessary and defining process in the development of every successful individual. The mastery of this internal battlefield determines the ability to endure adversity, to seize opportunity, and to realize the highest aspirations of the mind and spirit. By embracing, understanding, and conquering this inner struggle, one gains the power to navigate life with confidence, clarity, and the unwavering determination necessary to achieve greatness.